You are now live on both.
Okay, let's tilt this a little bit like that. You might want to check this camera over here too.
This good angles over here. Let me just verify that this is live.
What's coming up?
We have 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes, and we'll get started. Everything looking good?
Mm-hmm. I know for sure that the encoder is live. Right now I'm just checking to make sure that the feedback is in real time.
It's funny with my same with the internet connection on my phone. Can you pull up Facebook and just make sure we're live on the page?
Yeah.
We're going live on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, so we're just making sure everything's set up here. Looks like we are, huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's 12. Let's get started. Waiting for Nick to get everything squared away. Making sure I can see myself, right?
Okay. Got the buy trade. Check, check, check. Should be good to go.
Hello, this is Damon Cart from nlp-gym, and we're going to dive in real soon into NLP and some basics of NLP and how to implement NLP right now in your life, not just to achieve what you want to achieve, but also to learn NLP. This was a big challenge that I ran into even after I had done several trainings, was learning how to learn NLP. Before I jump into that, I want to tell you just a little bit about myself, my background. Some of you already know, so I don't want to be too repetitive or redundant, so I'm going to keep it really brief. But before I even go into that, I also want to say that by the end of this, yes, I will be giving you a sales pitch. I am currently opened enrollment to my Ultimate Practitioner training. It's an online training, which it's probably one of the most comprehensive NLP practitioner trainings online that there is. It's 8 modules based on a 24-day training. I'll explain more about that at the end of this. I'm also going to have a bonus for you, a giveaway by the end of this. So stay tuned to that, and I'll explain all those things later. And I just wanted to let you know that up front, because if that in any way offends you, that there is a sales pitch involved in this, I want to let you know now, and I won't at all be offended if you stop watching. All right, so let's get started into this. Like I said, my name is Damon Cart. I'm originally from New Orleans. I've been living in California for 15 years. When I was in college, I was introduced to NLP. I had a professor who taught a college course called The Philosophy of Psychology, and he taught hypnosis, Gestalt, psychoanalysis. It was a fascinating class, and he ended it with teaching a little bit of NLP, and I was fascinated right away. When he did demonstrations in the class, It was extraordinary, the changes he could put people through in just 20 minutes. I wanted to learn it, but I was a broke college student. There were no institutes in New Orleans at the time to learn NLP, and even if there were, I wouldn't have had the money to do it. So I had to wait 12 years before I got an opportunity to learn NLP when I moved to Santa Cruz, California, where NLP was created. I didn't really have the money to do it at the time. My first practitioner course that I took was over $3,000. A lot of people don't have the money to do that. One of the things I walked away with after that first training was knowing two things. I didn't really know NLP. That was just the beginning. The course was just the beginning. Once I was done, I knew that my journey had just begun. The other thing I knew is that I wanted to make NLP available to as many people as possible because it had already, just in that one course, helped me tremendously. And that brings us to what you're here for. You're here for results. Why else would you be here? The results could be that you want to learn NLP. The results could be that you want to learn NLP in order to do something, in order to communicate better, in order to be more persuasive, more influential. It might be you want to work on your inner game, or you know that you have this enormous potential and you're not actualizing it, and you're not fulfilling that potential, and you think that NLP might be a good practice for you to do that. Those are all very valid, and the reason why I mentioned those specific things is because that's what NLP has done for me, and so much more. I'm not going to get into all the transformations that I've had and all the personal stuff that I've worked through and the pain and the wounds and all those things that I've healed. That would take this entire time, and it would just be stories, and it wouldn't be giving you useful tools that you can implement right now. Really what I'm going to focus on this first video, because there are 2 more videos. I'm going live tomorrow and on Thursday. I'm going to go broad stroke in this video. I'm going to give you a sort of a broad, big picture of mindsets to take on. And also, I hope that you have a pen and paper and that you're taking notes, because you can start applying this right now. We want results. That's why we do almost anything. And I hope it's not washed out. I hope you can see this. It says the word results. So if you have a pen and paper, hopefully you do, write down what result you want to get either out of watching this video or out of learning NLP, or whatever it is you want to learn NLP in order to do. Now, a lot of people want to just learn NLP, and that's fine, and that's good. There's a curiosity there. That means there's an interest. But let's explore that a little bit more. So if you're watching this because you want to learn NLP, let's go deeper with that. You might already know, though, what you want to learn NLP in order to do. And that's where, if you just want to learn NLP right now and that's all you're aware of, take this a little bit deeper and think about what's the result you want from learning NLP. Okay? Now, some of you might be watching this and you weren't even thinking so much about learning NLP, but there was a result that you wanted. And sometimes people are just interested and they don't know why. If that's the case, and you're just thinking, well, I don't have a result. I'm not looking for anything in particular right now. I'm just curious. Okay, well, what are you curious about? What's the result that curiosity is leading you toward? What is it that you want? Because we all want something. We might not be conscious of it sometimes, but we all want something. So what is the result that you want? So if you want to learn NLP, what do you want to learn NLP to do, to be, or to have? And so what I want you to do as well, on another piece of paper, actually write this: be, do, and have. Okay? We're going to come back to this, but this is important. Be, do, have. So start exploring this. And you don't have to be, if you're not sure what it is, it's okay. You can write a few things down. You don't have to be, don't make this stressful. This shouldn't be stressful. This is more like brainstorming and just having fun with this. So even be a little bit playful. You know, what do you think you could do once you've learned NLP? So here's the thing. We don't want things, and we don't necessarily want results. We tend to focus on the results, whether it's more money, a better job, a relationship with a man or a woman. We think that we want the result. And a lot of us don't look past that. except for you dreamers. You dreamers are a little bit different. I'm going to address that right now. You dreamers tend to not focus on the plan to get there. This is where I have issues with the law of attraction and what's the other term for it? I forget, but anyway. Nick's thinking about it. Okay, so things like the law of attraction and that sort of thing, this is dreaming. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm more of a dreamer myself than a planner. So that's cool that you're dreaming, and you're dreaming of what the result is going to get you. So this is vision. More importantly than results is we want an experience. We believe the result will get us some experience. And a lot of us are not conscious of that. We are only thinking of, I want to make more money, I want a relationship, I want to lose 20 pounds. So that's the result. But it's good to take a step further than that and think about what experience are you looking to have once you have the result. Because losing 20 pounds for me, I don't want to lose 20 pounds, so that's not a result that would give me any sort of experience that I want. I would probably look kind of gross if I lost 20 pounds. So you're looking to have an experience. We don't want just green paper in our wallet, and we don't want just numbers in our bank account. You may be only focused on that because that's the result, but what is that going to do for you? What is the experience that you're looking for or looking to fulfill by having more money? So maybe it's a bigger house. Then again, you're still stuck in result. What is that bigger house going to give you? Maybe it's a sense of security. Maybe it's a sense of freedom. And this is when we start getting into values, and this is very powerful. So what is the value or values that you're looking to fulfill by getting the result? And this is where motivation is. Okay, I have people who I coach who say, I lost my mojo, I lost my motivation, and I'm waiting around to get it back. And then what I tell them is, well, first of all, what I like to tell people to really mess with them is to say, well, you're not really looking for a result, and you never lost your motivation. I like to kind of set them back a little bit. What happened is that whatever result you were after, or the means in which you were getting to that result, you stopped believing that that was going to get you the experience that you wanted. Now, this brings me to what we could call planning, or we'll just call it planning. This is the reality. We could call it the map. We could also call it numbers, or math. When we say people say do the math, or the math doesn't add up. These are more functional type thinkers. So they're into the planning, the reality, the map. How do we get there? Now, we're not usually all one or the other in all contexts. And certain things that I want, I might be more caught here in the dreamer phase, where I think, oh, that's just what I want, and I'm going to focus on what I want, and I'm going to neglect this. I'm not going to think about planning. I'm not going to go seek out someone else who might have that knowledge, who can show me the way. That's also where teachers come in. I tend to fall on this side, but sometimes in certain contexts and certain things that I want, I'm way over here. And I might even neglect this. So we're usually not all one or the other, okay? We're usually, depending on what we want, we're caught in one. Some people are too caught up in it has to be super realistic, the numbers have to match, and a lot of times when people are caught in this, they're lacking motivation because they're not connected to their values. The motivation piece isn't there, they're not very conscious of it. Now, if you're too caught over here, you're probably never going to get to this because you don't have a map, you don't have a way to get there. So you want to elicit your values, and I'm going to show you how to do that. I do have a more in-depth demonstration of eliciting values. On my YouTube channel, I did a video on it. If you just search values elicitation, I demonstrate how to do it. I'm going to go through it quickly here though. So there's always in NLP, it's sort of like the DNA of NLP, is you have desire, and we also call it the desired state, and then we have outcome. So we're in a desired state when we want something. And one of my first NLP teachers, Robert Dilts, said, if you don't want anything, NLP can't help you. And it's very true. If you don't want anything, NLP can't help you. But the truth is, I've never met someone who does not want something. Okay, so we all want something. It may be unconscious, but there's definitely something we want. So when I want something, I'm in a desired state. Okay, and here's my outcome. So what is separating me? What's missing from here to here? And this is very, very basic NLP here. This is a resource. We're missing a resource. And there's a presupposition in NLP that says all of us have all of the resources we need to accomplish anything. Now, it is a presupposition. I'm not calling it a fact. We don't call it a fact because you can make an argument for either way. It's just a mindset. It's a filter. It's a way of looking at things. It's a way of perceiving reality. So what I'm missing is this resource, and if I had this resource, I would have my outcome. And so some people might say, well, I don't have the money that I want to have. And if I just drew my inner resource of, say, abundance, that doesn't necessarily give me my outcome. And I understand that argument. That makes perfect sense. Maybe tangibly you don't have your outcome, but again, you don't necessarily want the objects of your